AI, and more AI, everybody's freeware, and introducing Axegrinder. Welcome to the Unlimited Supply Podcast, your daily music business TLDR in your ear and powered by too many open browser tabs. Unlimited Supply is brought to you by No Disc, helping music technology and finance companies navigate the music industry. It's another Tech Tuesday, July 2nd, 2024. I'm Lars Murray, and there's lots to cover today, and we've also got a new feature to launch, so we may run a little longer than usual. Before we dive into the tech, though, once again, the industry is trying to extract master royalties from terrestrial radio. In a Billboard story, Glenn Peoples unpacks recent events and asks what's different this time. Well, for one, the horses are out of the barn. Actually, they aren't only out of the barn, they've evolved into BoJack Horseman and moved to Sweden. Radio may claim to be healthy, but have you looked at a radio stock lately? Cheaper than a slice of pizza. Have you looked at a radio broadcast license lately? Cheaper than a 4-bedroom home in most markets. So whatever comes of this, one thing is for sure, there isn't a ton of money to be extracted anymore. Glenn's article dissects the AMFA, that's the American Music Fairness Act, which had a hearing in the House last week. Let's do the Tuesday Tech Thing AI Fear and Loathing edition. Supertone has just launched a virtual pop group called Cindy 8. It's not the first time that virtual groups have been created with AI, but this one was developed ostensibly to demonstrate Supertone's capabilities and products, like the voice generation tool Shift. Cindy 8 has a full album and an animated origin story video, taking K-pop one step closer to full AI automation and removing those pesky idols from the mix. One person who views this kind of thing as inevitable is Mustafa Suleyman, the CEO of Microsoft AI. He went on stage with Andrew Ross Sorkin from CNBC at the Aspen Ideas Fest last week and has ignited quite the furor in the trades. We went straight to the video on YouTube to see what all the fuss was all about, and we found more than we expected to fuss about. When Sorkin asked him about AI training, he basically brushed off responsibility, citing the following.
I think that with respect to content that is already on the open web, the social contract of that content since the 90s has been that it is fair use. Anyone can copy it, recreate with it, reproduce with it. That has been freeware.
Or, to paraphrase the Beatles, we were only waiting for this moment to be freeware. And what's his approach to sorting this out?
There's a separate category where a website or a publisher or a news organization had explicitly said, do not scrape or crawl me for any other reason than indexing me so that other people can find that content. That's a gray area, and I think that's going to work its way through the courts.
So basically, sue us. The red phone at RIAA HQ is surely ringing off the hook right now. Cue the thundering hordes of litigators. But there's more. Maybe more chilling is this quote.
What are we, collectively, as an organism of humans, other than a knowledge, an intellectual production engine? We produce knowledge.
When Sorkin essentially asks him if that's all we are, then what are we in an AI-equipped world, he really doesn't answer, and deflects to kids writing term papers in school. That's not a good answer, dude. This probably ensures that Suleyman won't be doing these types of appearances often in the future. His big boss, Satya Nadella, would never be so clumsy, but maybe it's a good thing that we all got a glimpse of how big AI is thinking, however unsettling that may be. Maybe Suleyman could have made reference to how folks could use AI to enhance the creativity of what they do. On a somewhat more optimistic note, Music Ally shared data from a YouTube report that found 65% of Gen Z are video content creators. There's a link in the show notes. And that makes this a perfect time to introduce a new feature. It's called Axegrinder, and that's exactly what it sounds like. Axegrinder is a chance for Unlimited Supply listeners with an axe to grind to share their opinion. And today we're kicking off the feature with a longtime industry innovator, entrepreneur, and one of the guys who does the heavy lifting. Take it away, Bill.
Hi, I'm Bill Wilson, a 30-year veteran of Indian major labels, and now I run a technology consultancy called Indie Dojo. My axe to grind is the great AI kerfuffle. It's time to get real about AI. People seem to be focusing on how AI will destroy the creator community. They are really not looking at how these tools, much like Adobe Photoshop or Quark Express, transformed desktop publishing and enable them to do some interesting and wonderful things that they might not be able to do before creatively. There's more than just active or passive listening now. Everything is interactive. So in addition to creating and using these tools for creativity, people want to play with music. They want to create derivative works for social sharing and not necessarily to monetize, but to just exert their own creativity and share it with their friends. AI, samples, stems, they're all a vibrant and vital part of the consumer gamification of music. And all of this gamification can be monetized. This gamification can really be on any platform. You can have a DJ app, you can have it on TikTok, it could be in a virtual world. But at the core of this, people want to play with their music. So I'm excited about one of the organizations that has just announced itself. Is called AI-OK.org. AI-OK is an Irish-based organization. It's headquartered in Dublin, and it was founded to establish this set of ground rules. And it contains not only people from government, but academics, and even people such as David Hughes, who used to be at the Recording Industry Association of America. And what they really want to do is enable ethically created messaging into the music supply chain that will show that as these derivatives are used, the artist will actually get fairly compensated for it. What's the action that musicians can take? What's the action that record labels can take? I understand there's a little bit of wait and see here. Nobody wants to be the first. Nobody wants to set a precedent. And the lawsuits are just evolving the same way that it did in the early days of digital. And there's going to be some legal friction. There's going to be the establishing of frameworks. And what we need labels and artists to do is have a little bit more of an open mind about the upside of the economics of this, and not just saying this is all about piracy and this is about somebody else making money. So I'm Bill Wilson, and that's my axe to grind.
Thanks, Bill. If you've got a strong opinion, if you think there's something people should be paying more attention to or less attention to, if you've got a solution for a problem or a problem for a solution, or something else relevant to music, business, tech, and finance that you think should be in the conversations, hit me up via email. You can find it in the show notes. And that's another Tech Tuesday. Support for the Unlimited Supply podcast is provided by Roy-Fi, which provides the lowest rates and fairest terms on advances in the industry. If you're interested in talking to Roy-Fi about how you can use Roy-Fi to help your artists grow, email me directly at lars@notice.com. If you want to get unlimited supply in your ear daily, follow us wherever you get your podcasts if you like what you hear, and drop us a rating and that crucial review where you get your podcasts. And tell a friend or three, preferably 5 times, because every development in digital music must be repeated 5 times to sink in. Links are in the show notes, and you can hit me up on LinkedIn to tell us what you think about the show, to feed us info, to feed us lunch, and to tell us what we're missing out on. I'm Lars Murray, and remember, in this business, no conflict usually means no interest. Tomorrow's Viral Wednesday. See you then.